screencast for the practice test, so pay attention to these answers and fix them on your paper. All right, first question, solve and explain the process you use to get your solution. So, we've got an equation here, it's got variables on both sides, has a distributive property. So you want to do the distributive property first, so you're going to get 2x plus 10 plus 2. This side doesn't change, 6x minus 8 stays there. And then we can combine like terms here on this side, the 10 and the 2 can make 2x plus 12. This side still has that 6x minus 8. Haven't even touched the left side yet. Now we can balance it to get all the letters to one side, so we're going to move the 2x. Move the 2x, have to use inverse operations here. This is where we're doing the solve process. You're crossing off right there. So you still have a 12 here, equals 8, and then the 6x, whoops, little mistake there, that 6x actually turns into a 4x. So just be careful when you're doing it here. So it's 4x minus 8. Now we're going to add 8 to both sides. You get 4x equals 20, and then divide by 4. We have isolated that x to be 5. So if you had to list what you just did, what we just did here, number 1, we did distributive. So somewhere in your explanation, you should have distributive. Number 2, we combined like terms. That was the 2 plus 12, or sorry, 2 plus 10 that we did there to make this 12 right here. Third thing we did was to get all the variables to one side. And then we got all the constants to the other. Side. And then we finished by division. So we took 5 steps here. 5 steps to solve it. Got our answer. And it's looking pretty good. We can also check our answer. That would be 22 on that side, because it would be 30 minus 8. And then 22 on the right side, because it would be 2 times 10 plus 2. So your check step may look a little bit like this. 6 times 5 minus 8. Called the check step, and then 2 times 5 plus 5 plus 2 would be 2 times 10 plus 2, which would be 1 plus 2, 22. So this is kind of our clouded check. We can say, yeah, we got the answer. All right, moving on. Next problems here. Number 2, real quick one, subtract 8, and you are done. X is equal to 12. Alright? Next question is division. So we have to multiply both sides by -2 and -2. Make sure you recognize that's a -6. So x is going to be positive 12. Same answers there. Happens every once in a while. And on the third one here, we have to divide both sides by -4. So x is going to be -4. So simple. These are all going to be considered one-step situations. They're going to be worth fewer points, but still got to get them right. All right, we got to get them right. Moving on to the next row of questions. These are a little more complicated. We got some distribution, got some like terms, got some variables on both sides of number 7. So we have to distribute here first. We have -3x plus 6 equals -24. Right? Notice that turns into a positive 6 because this is a -2 and a -3. So recognize it's a positive 6 right there. Subtract 6 from both sides. You get 3x is equal to -30. Divide by 3. X is equal to -10. X is -10. Moving on to the next question. Next question has some like terms first. Like terms that need to be combined. So we're going to look on this side, and the 6x and the 2x will become 8x minus 1. Over here, the 5 and the -6 become -1 plus 8x. Now at this point, I would subtract 8x from both sides. Trying to get all my variables to the same thing. And you'd end up with -1 equals -1. Which is true. Alright, this is a special situation. It means that all solutions solutions to this, because this is a true statement. I know some people might have on their sheets done added 1 to both sides and end up with 8x equals 8x. If you get the exact same thing on the left and the right side, it is a all solution situation. So you make sure you note that. This is a special case. We studied this. You look back in your notebook, we studied this on page 44, 45. There's a couple examples that we saw in a video of this. All right, moving on here. 2x minus 19 equals 7x minus 4. You got to get all your x's to the same side. So you can do this first, or you could add 19 first. It's up to you. So the 2 x's go away. We have negative 19 equals 5x minus 4. And you want to add 4 to both sides. So we get negative 15 is equal to 5x. 5. X is equal to negative 3. You like to cross stuff off. You're crossing that off. You're crossing this off. You're crossing the 2 x's off. Constantly trying to balance that out and get stuff crossed off. X equals negative 3. If you solve these a different way and still have the right solution, just let Mr. Kasparowski know. Let me know, and I will just give you a good nod of the head. You're probably still doing it right. All right, 5 problems. Go here. Next 3. This one has a fraction in it. We're going to deal with the reciprocal here in a minute. So the first thing we do, though, is subtract this 2 from both sides. Get rid of this 2 right here. So we have negative 2/3 x. Still got the fraction equals negative 14. And the next thing we play in is the reciprocal at this point. So the reciprocal becomes negative 3 halves. Negative 3 halves. The reciprocal crosses off with its multiplied fraction. Changes into 1. So this becomes negative times positive. So it's going to become positive 42 over 2, which is equal to 21. 21 is the solution to number 8. All right, reciprocal comes into play there. Next one, distribution. All right, watch this one here. We have to be careful with this one. 1/3 times 6x. That becomes 6/3 x, which is just 2x. All right, and then we have to make sure we do 1/3 times 9, which would become 9/3, which would be just 3. So don't shy away from the fractions. Let them multiply in if that's what you're distributing. Let them work. All right, now we got this one looks more like question 7 on the previous row. So now we're going to go minus 2x. And we're going to have 3 is equal to 2x minus 5. And then we're going to go plus 5 and plus 5. And you're going to have 2x equals 8. And then when you divide by 2, so right over here, it equals 2x equals 4. X is equal to 4. We could think of a check for this. I mean, if we put the 4 back in, it'd be 1/3 of 33, and that's 11. And then this would be 16 minus 5, and that's 11. So 4 makes sense. All right, last problem on this row. A little bit of like terms right here. We can go with the 6 and the negative 8. They're going to add up to negative 2 plus 7x is equal to 12. And then we're going to add 2 to both sides. 7x is equal to 14. And divide by 7. X is equal to positive 2. Positive 2. So if you have further questions, please direct them to me or Kasparowski as soon as you can, because after this practice test, we'll be taking the actual test today. And last 2 here. A little bit of decimals. Been around for the nearest hundreds, so 2 decimal places when we get done. So let's get crack-a-lacking on this one. First of all, we're going to be looking at this piece here. There's 4 different ways to start 11. I'm going to start it by doing plus 4.88. But then I have to add that here to the other constant. So I've got to put it in that spot. Still have the 2.34x. Right now, when I add this down, I'm going to get 6.63. All right? Equals 3.21x. So now I can get all the x's over to the right side of the equal sign. So we're going to subtract 2.34x. 2.34x gives us 6.63 equals 3.21 minus 2.34 is 0.87. So we got to make sure we finish this off correctly, type it in correctly. Divide both sides by 0.87. solve this differently. When I actually did this one on the practice test key that I'm looking at right now, I ended up taking negative 6.63 divided by negative 0.87. Got the same answer though. All right, last problem on the set here. So distribution, so it's 21x minus 35 equals negative 1. Move to 35. Cross them off again. And then divide by 21. 34 divided by 21, it would round correctly to 1.62. So that's the practice test. Take your time on the actual test today. You can use your practice test. Make sure you follow instructions and are aware of your final answers. You can check them too.